Alexa Alice Joubin. Alexa is the professor of English, Women's, Gender, and Sexuality Studies, Theater, International Affairs, and East Asian Languages and Cultures, co-director of the Digital Humanities Institute, Middlebury College, John M. Kirk Jr. Chair in Medieval and Renaissance Literature at George Washington University. Give it up for Alexa.
Thank you, Corey. How's everyone? Great lunch. I was really enjoying seeing your art project. We're going to talk about AI, art, and technicity today. So we are actually touching on the theme of a conference, Techné, right? It's a kind of Aristotelian concept from ancient Greece. They believe in the importance of technique. And technique is related to technology. When we say technology, it's not always digital. Michelangelo employed technology of the paintbrush and so on in order to do the roof of the Sistine Chapel. That is technology. A book, traditionally printed book, is a form of technology. It's lasted thousands of years. Sometimes people think of technology only as digital, and so they have a bit of resistance when you try to combine technology and art, or think of AI and art. Let's think through 5 things regarding technology and art. So first is how they transform each other, how they're related. The secondly is the idea of technique, or technology of representation. You've all just participated in this. When you draw something, it's a form of technology of representation. It's representing your innermost thoughts. It's representing your emotions, your inspiration. And so we're going to look at how this kind of representational technologies, how they change our life. Number 3, of course, the relationship between human and non-human agents. Here, I mean flowers, animals, environment, nature. AI, of course, one of them, right? But these are non-human agents. Technology, something created by human, but it's not human. But we coexist with animals, with plants, with nature, with AI. So in this context, AI is not so much by default an enemy. When we know we are part of an ecology of various assistive technologies, various techniques, nature, urban environment, a lot of those are, the humans may have a hand in them, but humans, they're not human. So thinking of humans and non-humans, I think would be very useful. Number 4, we're going to think about synthetic text, synthetic images, and the experiment just here during the lunch hour, I thought would be very useful in deepening our thoughts because we've just engaged in it. What does it mean? And when something is entirely human, is it not synthetic? And what is AI doing based on your textual description coming up with these wild images? Who should receive more credit? Number 5, last but not least, coming out of Shakespeare. When I'm not doing AI, I'm a Shakespeare professor. In The Tempest, you have this famous line, it's the stuff our dream is made of. I think art makes our dream. Art is also the stuff that our dream is made of. And we live in a kind of ecologies mingling with techniques and technology and non-human agents. Let's have a word cloud where we're going to think about this together. One way to think about creativity, we'll create something, we're being creative. We are thinking about bringing things together that, like our experience, what we've seen at the art center, and then we are making some new connections. That's one way to think about creativity. So unusual connections. These are elements that already exist. Just the person comes in and say, nobody has connected these dots before. Let me try and see what we get. So that's creativity. We had lots of words meanwhile. People got busy. Creative is actually front and center. Fake, also front and center. And of course, the idea of theft. A lot of people think about it being a tool, and there are biases. They're talking about how it's unpredictable. AI and art, it's unpredictable. And it's synthetic, it's reiterative. What a great word. Reappropriating, reframing things that already exist. The idea of surrealism comes in. Remember, we talked about 5 concepts. It's how art and technology transform each other, what Techné is, and the relation between humans and non-humans, and how we should deal with synthetic things. And last but not least, the dreams that our stuff is made of. So first, art and technology. Art and technology is actually 2 sides of the same coin. Art primarily deals with probability, probable worlds. Like perhaps this is not possible because of laws of physics. But in my artistic vision, it becomes possible. So I'm trying to paint a probable world. That's what AI does too, because AI is good at probabilistic decision making and rearrangement. There's a little bit of randomness to it. And art would envision worlds we want to live in, not just the world given to us by Ted Gross. So in this capacity, if we use AI as social technology, just like art, it can help us imagine different kinds of worlds. So our AI, like art, has world-making capacities. And this is where I'm going to go against the grain and talk about hallucination. A lot of people like to accuse AI of hallucinating too much. Of course, for a precision task meaning that is cognitive task and it requires precision, like scholarly research, and there's a destination. The hallucination is a big problem because it misleads people, wastes your time, and so on. But in art, hallucination is front and center, it is creative, it connects unusual data points. So it is not all negative. A lot of artists, they need to engage in some form of hallucination, meaning non-normative thinking. That's what hallucination is. It's like you are hallucinating. Such things do not exist. Indeed, that's artist's job, right? AI, very much like art or imaginative literature, it's actually artistic, it's adaptive, it's a type of representational technology. Working with AI makes you feel like you're playing lottery, right? You put in this prompt, you may or may not get what you imagine. You may feel frustrated. I want this image you're not giving me. Well, that's because there's hallucinatory random aspect to it. So the core of art is actually techne, or what we say technical affordances. That is the core of art, technical affordances. So technologies can enable our creativity. Without that, you can have ideas in mind without the invention of paintbrush. You would not be able to do it, for example. But at the same time, art makes technology meaningful, right? Technology only has meaning through imagination. It's by no coincidence that when ChatGPT was released in 2022, people were excited about its ability to write poetry. Nobody's excited about, hey, you can do bureaucratic tasks. That's not sexy. That's not exciting. And several companies, we have Google Bard. That's before they changed the name. They really go to the most famous artist of all time, Shakespeare. Shakespeare has helped to launch a lot of technologies. Anthropic named their chatbot Sonnet 3.0. So these are just examples of how technology needs art to have meaning, to have social meaning, make it meaningful, make it interesting so that people would be eager to adopt. Now, art, like movies, sci-fi movies have helped people imagine new technologies for a long time. Think of AI assistants that we take for granted. Siri, Amazon Alexa. Well, 2001 Space Odyssey actually imagined how the concept might work. In Star Trek, they had cell phone. Now we have cell phone. Back to the Future 2 actually proposed the concept of augmented reality and so forth. So they're actually, this is just a short list showing the intimate relationship. Art and technology giving meanings to each other, inspiring each other. These are not separate domains at all. Alice Joubin is OpenAI's first artist in residence. So OpenAI, for some time, they actually had an artist in residence in order to pioneer new ideas and inspiration. And before he took on that job, he worked at MIT and built this robot called Boxy. We took inspiration from a movie, Big Hero 6. And that's a type of social robotic. When I say social robotic, I mean technology designed for social interaction, to like interact with people. That's basically what generative AI is. It's a kind of social robotic, like this. It doesn't always need to have a body, but it's designed to interact with people, like read people or make surveys, right? So this is another example. Now, testing. What is testing? So technology, simply put, is just application of conceptual knowledge for practical goals. So it is not a mere artifact, and I don't think it's external to us, humans. As if there is me, and there's a boundary where me ends, and that's technology. It doesn't work that way. Testing is part of human condition. I speak in the sense of we wear eyeglasses, contact lenses, hearing aids, and even if you don't need any of these, if you drive, your car has a lot of technologies that are supposed to protect you or amplify your abilities and so on. So that's why it's part of the human condition. There's no such thing unless, well, even cavemen, when you go all the way back, trying to strip it out of technology, there's testing there to survive, to live, to derive pleasure from just existing. And technologies, they are not like always new. The thing we think of as being new, they imitate old things. Think of e-book, e-reader, Kindle. They go to great lengths to advertise this is e-ink. It doesn't make your eyes tired. What they're imitating is the way ink feels like on paper, right? And so that's an example of how the new actually contains the old, imitates the old. And you look at all these keywords of quill pen, big pen, fountain pen, and eventually have mechanical typewriter, you have keyboard, you have haptic keyboard. The evolution seems amazing, but these input methods, they're all related to each other. And this is the example where I talked about, right? The traditional book and e-reader, a lot of people say, in our era, books are dead. Nobody wants to read them. The fact is, people read a lot, and they write a lot. They interact with social media. These are reading and writing activities, maybe not traditional, but people actually engage in a lot of those. So that brings us to kind of think about relations between human and non-humans. Let me give you some examples. Think of jazz musicians. If you love jazz, you know that they talk a lot about bonding with your musical instruments. So jazz musicians, when they are successful, they achieve a human-instrument harmony. And now at AI, they need to hallucinate a little bit because they will intuitively miss a note in order to switch up the way the following musical phrases are rendered. And that skipping is a little bit like AI's randomness. So that's again where AI's type of art echoes, resonates with human type of art. And we have synthetic text synthetic images, synthetic videos in our midst. And there are a number of ways we can think about this synthetic material. So I want to propose, first of all, the idea of a mirror. Some people like to say art is like a mirror, right? Kind of reflecting reality, art imitate life, and so on, art, life imitate art. So if you go along those lines, you can think of AI producing pixelated images of our, I love your phrasing, kind of collective, unconscious, like us as a society. So that's what AI is doing. It's an image. It's not precise. It's pixelated because it's a synthetic kind of. It vies for mathematical average. But it's very useful to think of it, to use this metaphor, like a mirror, like some kind of imagery. The second way to think about synthetic material is that AI really is an aesthetic instrument, like we use it here. It's not a tool to create knowledge. It's not a tool to learn about new knowledge, right? Because it has randomness to it. It's a bit like lottery. It's hallucinate a little bit. Extremely useful in the domain of art. Not so useful in the crude form for rocket science. So art is a fuzzy task. We don't require precision. In fact, I don't want precision. It's the opposite. That's why it's useful. And so speaking of non-precision, I also love AI's capacity to simulate. I think of it like a simulation tool. There was a French philosopher, Jean Baudrillard, who came up with this idea called simulacrum. He's saying that, you go to a place like Disneyland, Disney, for example, Las Vegas. They embrace how kitschy they are. It's a replica. It's not real, but people love to see Eiffel Tower, not in Paris, but in Las Vegas on the street. It's the pleasure of simulacrum. That's what AI gives us. We have to kind of understand deeply. It's a type of imperfect simulation, and not be carried away by it, and kind of amplify artistic ability to give us inspiration creating art. Number 4, we can also think about AI, think about synthetic material like theater. I feel that AI is very theatrical. When you interact with AI, when you use the word prompt, you ever heard of prompt book? Actors love prompt book. It's what prompter? I forgot my line. So what AI does is that building on your prompt, you give it a prompt, and my line is, so it's actually building out on top of it and have put on a little show for an audience of 1. That's you. So it's like this theatrical interaction. It's like Shakespeare's characters doing soliloquy. You wouldn't trust every word they say. Hamlet is saying. Hamlet has situational input, partial knowledge of what is going on, right? And each character, their partial knowledge, they all have that's what we call bias, kind of limited perspective. And that's what AI is. It's like a character in theater. So it does a lot of things, right? AI does a lot of things. And above all else, I've always thought of it as a funhouse mirror held up for humanity, us. When we interact with AI, we engage in a conversation with our own shadows, with our own pixelated images, our shadow, our image in the mirror. Hamlet says, and to hold as 'twere the mirror up to nature, to show virtue her feature, scorn her own image, and the very age and body of the time is form and pressure. So this is then David Tennant doing Hamlet, talking very metaphorically to a skull. Don't we do the same thing when we talk to AI? Not quite a skull, but some kind of shadow image of ourselves. So we are talking to ourselves. It's rather like this. I used DALL-E 2 to generate this image. You stand in front of the wall. This is a pixelated image that AI will give us. That's the nature of our so-called conversation. And that's what AI really is. It looks like this. And I'm drawing on artist Daniel Rosen's installation art, mechanical mirrors. We kind of further drive home that point. And this is what it looks like. You stand in front of it, and the images and partial reflection has to do with how far away you are from the mirror, what you are doing, right? And it's really eye-opening. It's more powerful than just putting up straight ahead a mirror to let people look at themselves. So with this understanding, I also promote the idea that AI is a kind of social collaboration. It's a survey instrument. We're not talking to machines, but talking to our collective selves. So if you think of humans and the machines, like the smaller image, I think it's more scary and it's less productive because there's us and the machines. Nobody made the machine, they're just there. They're like, no. Big tech companies made these tools. They have specific agendas. And so it's actually all human. So it should be like the other images. Not quite holding hands, but like all of these are human enterprises. So when you use AI, it's not a machine. It's actually a social collective. And I think that will change our relationship. So is AI an extension of humanity or a surrogate of it? More optimistic people would say it's an extension. It's like assistive technology, like prosthesis. More pessimistic people might say it's surrogating humanity because people can no longer have chocolate. They only hear about what chocolate tastes like. That's what synthesis is. AI will tell you this and tell you that, but it's not the thing itself. So we just hear descriptions of what chocolate tastes like rather than actually enjoying chocolate. I suppose we need to strike a balance. Have our chocolate, have our tea, but also have fun with synthetic art, but not let one or the other can completely take over. So in conclusion, I feel that society really needs to recenter art in technology, in our cultural practice. People don't talk enough about art when they debate about AI. They tend to think of the other topics are very important as well. Ethics, its application in corporate environment, how much money is gonna save people, efficiency, environmental impact. But we really need to recenter art in all of these debates. How AI is a kind of artistic output itself. So if we see AI as a kind of social collaboration, like what we're doing here, it's actionable. It gives us access to the proverbial engine room. Engine room is made of people. Engines are made by people. The data sets are humans in origin. So AI is a human technique, it's a human enterprise. Remember, even our prompts, right? Our questions are important data points too. That's why we have the free tier product from major AI companies, because your interaction would be used to further train the large language model, right? So the questions are important and precious data points, not just the data sets to begin with. But who is going to clean the data set? Having curated, cleaned, viable data set, that's the holy grail these days, not just random, take anything random, because garbage in, garbage out. So again, very human at its core, right? Everything that we consider. Since we are an art center, I wanted to talk about, give some examples of how some artists have been using generative algorithm as an aesthetic instrument, like I said before. Aesthetic instrument, meaning we take full advantage of its hallucinatory capacity, its imaginary capacity. It's not really, it's irrelevant whether its output is correct or incorrect. That's not the realm. That's not our concern. So this project called Cyber Subin, they have human dancers dance with AI generated choreographed virtual characters so that they take inspiration from each other. I'm going to explain a little bit what it means. So cyber, of course, we understand cybernetic. Subin is a word in the Thai language. It refers to dream in Thailand. So cyber dream. And so they wanted to both build upon a form of Thai dance. It's beautiful, but also to preserve it because kind of they're using this heritage in Thailand. It's an intangible heritage that is difficult to preserve because you can't just take a few photos and call it a day. It's three-dimensional and has to be, to fully preserve it, it has to be preserved by humans, by embodied. Because a large part of the tradition is already lost, so they cannot actually reproduce accurately everything that's supposed to be in this dance. So they call it human AI co-dancing. It's a type of interactive preservation of embodied knowledge. You think of preservation in a traditional sense, you go to a library, you have a rare book, it's preserved, a piece of history has knowledge inside. But what if it's intangible heritage, like dancing? Are you going to have people keep dancing it in a museum every day? Because that's the real interactive preservation. So they're trying to work toward that goal with AI's help. So generative AI, they have a life of the human dancers, and then they create virtual characters that will improvise its own choreography, and human dancers riff on the virtual models' poses to dance further. And so from a machine's perspective, that's what it's like. They can break down the four limbs and the possible movements and the dimensions. This is what they call 100 years of journey of Thai choreography from cultural root to integration with computer. And of course, there are limits. Virtual characters are not limited by gravity or the anatomy of joints. And AI gets some of these wrong sometimes. So the human dancers find it both frustrating and funny. There's no way I can do that. I can't fly. However, they say, quote, our constraints as humans give meaning to our art. So what this teaches the artist is that constraints are beautiful. And this is one example. So you can see on the big screen behind those virtual characters versus the human character in front. And it's a collaboration that riff off of each other. And this is another example of the back-end screen analysis at work in real time, right? You can see guys analyzing all the possible moves and will eventually create new moves, suggest new moves and new characters. And for the human dancers who are studying this Thai dance, for archivists who are trying to do preservation work, it's very inspiring because they are trying to look at what has been lost to history. And now we come to an example of a theater artist. So Annie Dorset is a theater artist based in New York. She calls herself an algorithmic theater artist and director. She did a piece called A Piece of Work. It was in 2013, and it's a machine-made Hamlet for the post-human age. And in this Hamlet, like Cyber Subin, you have a human actor, but he performed against a machine-generated voice. It's not embodied, but basically he's in a type of kind of conversation, and there's randomness because it's not scripted. The AI takes what he says and generate a response pulling out of Shakespeare's Hamlet. So the human actor cannot know ahead of time what the AI character will say. And that actually brings a bit of improvisation to it, and it's actually very exciting. So what she uses is generative algorithm. It's pre-ChatGPT 3. It's actually its grandfather in order to do this. So that life actor performs alongside a screen that shows resequent passages from Hamlet. There's a voice synthesizer as well. So basically, there's this character. It's like a ghost. It's perfect for Hamlet. You know, in the story of Hamlet, there's a character called the ghost. That's the ghost of Hamlet's dead father. And the machine will actually generate music as well. And all the stage elements are controlled by AI, such as the stage effect. You can have smoke, for instance. The lighting is automatically controlled. And so they generate new songs, new visuals, and AI essentially is responding to what is in red here, frequency and infrequency of word patterns in Shakespeare's text. And then AI sorts and remixes the source material. So Andy Dorson wanted to see what can happen when a human artist works with AI as an artist. How do you explore but also respond to randomness? And I find it inspiring that the human actor comes out of the audience. It's as if the stage or backstage area belongs to the machine, which is very true. If you go to theater at all, you know, stagecraft. Backstage, it's a dangerous place because there are a lot of machinery moving. So here it's AI technology, but basically backstage is kind of the back end of technology. That's not human realm. The audience, auditorium, that's human realm. So that one actor comes out of the auditorium to go upstage to converse with machine-generated art. I think AI is making us ask hard questions about what is reality. There's only one Mona Lisa. We know where it is. It is in the Louvre in Paris. Very simple. There are a lot of reproductions, but there's only one Mona Lisa. For Shakespeare's Hamlet, we don't know where it lives. There are many of them. Maybe it comes to life when somebody performs it. Maybe it's in a modern edition you can buy. None of them, though, would be the real in the sense of like Mona Lisa, because that's intangible heritage, just the words, perhaps, it's the concepts. But then to say it's the words is not entirely accurate either, right? Because the words had to be said, had to be embodied to come to life. It's like Mozart, different kind of art. You have the music sheets, but that's a piece of Mozart. You actually need someone to perform it and to bring it to life. But then each performance is artistic in its own sense because it's different. We prefer this pianist interpretation over the others, and so on. So I think art is complex. It's tangible and intangible. It's conceptual, but it does require material support as well. So I'm really glad you brought this up. I would say originality doesn't rely on the entire thing being completely novel. I said novelty is different from originality. People tend to confuse the two, right? So something can be novel to a person, but not original. Originality lies in unusual sparks or connection of ideas within a realm that is well known. So think of, if you want to be an original artist, think of genres. You are working within well-defined genres. It's the genre of painting, for example, or the genre of tragedy or comedy that you're writing. So you need that foundation. You need these conventions and rules. And within this, you're going to innovate something that's uncommon. And I think that is the groundwork of originality. People tend to confuse. Of course, you're not going to come along and invent an entirely new genre, which I don't think is possible because these conventions and tropes, they're kind of predefined. A critic once made famously said, there's new story under the sun. All the possible stories have been told. He even boiled it down to like 5 types of story, archetypes. love stories, revenge stories, and they all have these elements. Once we lay out, we realize, I think I seem to be able to slot every story I've heard under them. But that's not the point and not the problem, right? But within convention, how you innovate. We speak language, right? Language also speaks us. Grammar is a kind of limitation and constraints. But then you can be very innovative in your choice of words and how you're going to describe something. And that is originality. So these are just some of the ideas to go off of. I wanted to give a shout out to Corey in the design of this wonderful banner on the poster of our symposium. I thought it's an interesting choice because you're not sure if those are human painters or not. They could well be playing dress up. Maybe one of them is not. Maybe one of them is a cyborg. But that playfulness, that ambiguity is artistically productive. Because I was staring at this and I was thinking a lot about how paintings come to be and how much we need techne and how much we need human innovation. And the two really cannot be separated as in 30% techne, 70% human. At any given moment, they fluctuate the work together to bring this together. Because I am a theater person, what I see is theatrical. I thought, wow, two human actors, they are dressed up, perhaps in their helmets, they have assistive technology and augmented reality screen to help them listen to this world. So I see we're coming up on time here, and I would be happy to stay and chat more, but thank you all for